Over the last 2 weeks, significant battles were happening in multiple sections of the front line. The area around Kupyansk continues to be one of the main focus of Russian command at the moment. The large city and the river that flows through it is a Ukrainian stronghold that has managed to destroy advancing enemies for already around a year. Currently, what Russians are trying to do is gather up manpower to support additional assault attempts. What we see is Russians concentrating their divisions in 2 main sectors. One more towards the north, aimed at taking over Sinkivka, while the other more to the southeast, with the goal of moving towards Pischane along the highway and ultimately reaching Kupyansk. Many of the reinforcements are coming from a Liman direction. When it comes down to the Liman direction itself, Russia still concentrates a significant force around there, however, will require increasing reinforcements due to the fact of how strong and advantageous Ukrainian positions are in that area. Thus, a decision to transfer units from there to Kupyansk also identifies that Russians do not have enough resources to achieve their objectives in both of these directions at once, and will eventually have to make a choice on what to focus on. A third direction, which has also been a center of attention for the past 2 weeks, is Bakhmut, where Russians are desperately trying to penetrate Ukrainian defenses and reach Chasiv Yar. Chasiv Yar is an important Ukrainian logistical hub and also a gateway to Konstantinivka. Russian attacks towards both Chasiv Yar and Liman are linked and serve as a build-up to a more ambitious goal of taking over large Ukrainian cities Sloviansk and Kramatorsk from the north and south. As part of an attempt to take control over Chasiv Yar, Russians are currently storming Bogdanivka and Ivanivske, villages located directly on the front line. They also try to direct the attention of Ukrainian defenders by attacking more to the south towards Klishchivka and Andriivka, which helps them disperse Ukrainian units and weaken the overall defense. While the battles are severe, brave Ukrainian soldiers continue to hold off the advancing Russian horde and do not allow them to get any meaningful gains. This puts in question any possibility of Russians achieving their objective of moving all the way towards Sloviansk and Kramatorsk with current developments. Moving away from the frontline updates, Ukrainian forces have notably struck yet another Russian warship on the 24th of March. The large amphibious assault ship Konstantin Olshansky was damaged during a missile strike on Sevastopol. According to the spokesman of the Ukrainian naval forces, Dmytro Pletenchuk, the attack was carried out using Ukrainian Neptune missiles. What is notable here is the fact that Ukrainians continue to destroy the Russian Black Sea Fleet, and the fact that they do so using their own military equipment. This underscores the potential the Ukrainian military industry has, even on a global scale. I wish only to see more news like this, until there is not a single operating Russian ship left. In addition, Ukrainian special forces continue to conduct operations aimed at damaging strategic military, manufacturing, as well as oil refinement sites deep inside Russian territory. On April 1st, Shahed production plant in Russian city of Yelabuga, located around 1,200 kilometers away from the border, was struck using Ukrainian drones. The plant was producing deadly Iranian drones, which are one of the most popular weapons of Russians at the moment. Also, during the night of April 2nd, a Ukrainian drone struck the Taneko oil refinery in Nizhnokamsk. A drone hit the primary oil processing facility. The capacity of this installation was 8 million tons of oil, which is 2.6% of the total annual refining of the Russian Federation per year. In addition, this plant is one of the 5 largest refineries in Russia. Ukraine successfully conducts strategically critical operations, seriously crippling Russian military production capabilities, as well as the overall economy. Already by now, as a result of Ukrainian drone strikes, gasoline production in Russia fell by 12%. Another key strategic location struck by Ukrainian forces on April 4th is Russian military airfield Morozovsk. Key planes that were based there were Su-24, Su-24M, and Su-34 Frontline bombers. The results of the Ukrainian operation are impressive. At least 6 military aircraft of the Russian Federation were destroyed, and another 8 were significantly damaged. A truly crucial result downgrading Russian aerial capabilities. The only sad part is that the United States continues to show weakness even in this regard. Washington refused to support Ukrainian drone strikes and yet again took an indecisive position. After not being able to deliver upon its promises of military aid, the United States government goes as far as to call for Ukraine not to use one of the only ways of defense the country has remaining. In the meantime, Russia has also been heavily active in using drones and missiles to strike Ukrainian energy and civilian infrastructure. Sadly, according to Ukrainian officials, Russians have already destroyed as high as 80% of all Ukrainian thermal power plants. Russian energy terror continues, and Ukrainians desperately need more aerial defense system from its partners. In the diplomatic field, there have been multiple positive developments for Ukraine. First, several new aid packages were announced. French defense minister announced that his country would supply 78 Caesar artillery systems and an additional 80,000 artillery shells. Germany also did not stay out and transferred additional ammunition, drones, and heavy equipment of various kinds. South Korea announced a $2.3 billion aid package, recognizing the threat the Russian-Chinese bloc has for their own safety. Second, an important defense agreement was signed between Ukraine and Finland. Finland will provide long-term military and financial assistance, as well as deepen cooperation with Ukraine in the political, financial, and humanitarian spheres. Overall, the past 2 weeks were marked by many successful strategic Ukrainian operations, as well as positive developments in the diplomatic arena. However, the Russian threat is rapidly growing, and the decisive position of the Western coalition is needed to support Ukraine in its holy war for survival.